Hello everybody, we're going to be talking about the will writing process at face-to-face estate planning. So Emma is here with me to talk us through the different stages, and I'm going to be the one interviewing her. So Emma, do you want to tell us a little bit about what your role is at face-to-face estate planning?
I can indeed. So I am a estate planning consultant, so I can advise clients on their wills, lasting powers of attorney, trusts, all different bits and pieces. So I will guide you through the process, explain everything to you, and make you understand what we're doing. And if you've got any questions or need any specific advice to your circumstances, I'll be able to help you with that.
Okay, thanks ever so much, Emma. So let's start off with what happens first. Obviously, I guess we get in touch with you to book an appointment.
You do indeed. So if you give us our office a call, the phone number is 01603 625 100. Give us a call. You'll come through to the girls in the office, and they will happily book you an appointment. And the appointment they book for you can be either face to face, over the phone, or by Zoom. And in preparation for that meeting, we'll send you a document out in the post called a will preparation checklist. So on that checklist, there's just a few things for you to have a think about before our actual meeting, just so I'm not asking you anything on the spot that you're not expecting. And there'll be things to think about like executors or guardians, gifts you might want to make, but all of those will be in that document ready for you to have a look at and be prepared for our meeting.
And hopefully, if our technology has worked correctly, you should now see a copy of that document on the screen.
Here we go.
Okay, so Emma, what happens when you get to the meeting?
So at the meeting, we'll start by taking some of your personal details, making sure we've got those all up to date and accurate. And then we'll be working our way through our will instruction document. So the first thing we'll start talking to you about is your executors. So the executors are the people who will be distributing your estate in the way that you wish. So it's handy if they know you quite well, but they don't have to. And there's lots of different tasks that they'll need to do. So it could be arranging probate, or paying inheritance tax, paying off any debts you may have, and then distributing all the gifts and different bits and pieces that are held within your will. So that's their job. So it's quite a big task. So make sure, obviously, you've had a chat with that person prior to writing your will, because it's really good if someone knows that you've obviously nominated them to do that for you.
Before you go on, Emma, what is an estate? What does that mean?
So your estate is basically absolutely everything you own. So it could be property, money, actual personal possessions, cars, literally everything you have forms your estate. So as I use that word, hopefully that'll help you to understand what I'm talking about.
That's perfect. And what else do we discuss at the meeting?
So if you have children, something we'd also discuss is guardians. So obviously, worst case scenario, if something happens and you leave a child before they reach the age of 18, you'd need a guardian in place. And most people would want to choose who that's going to be rather than leave it to chance. So you can nominate again who you would like that to be. You can have more than one option within your will as well. And it's just to make sure that your children are looked after if anything should happen to you.
Very important.
Definitely.
What else?
So some people might think this is equally as important as their children, their pets. So you can nominate what happens to your pets at the time of your death, and some people even choose to leave a monetary gift to whoever they've given their pets to obviously help look after them throughout the rest of their lives.
I'm not looking after your dog.
Oh, no, I wouldn't either. He barks and jumps far too much.
So, okay, well that kind of covers those areas. What else is there to cover in the will?
So in your will as well, you could leave gifts and legacies. So these can either be monetary legacies or they could be actual possessions. So it could be your Royal Doulton ornament that you've got, or a vase, absolutely anything that you have that you might physically want to leave, an engagement ring, wedding ring, whatever it may be. So the legacies, we would name an amount or a percentage of your estate or the actual item you'd like to leave and who you'd like to leave it to. So they all get listed in your will, and those come quite high up. So after any debts or anything have been paid off, then all of these gifts are made. So that's the next part that will be distributed from your estate.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so what happens then?
So once you've been really specific about who you want to leave each of these items to, and just so you know, it's quite normal that some people say, no, I don't want to leave anything specifically. It might just be I want everything left equally between my children, or all to a charity, or it could be absolutely anything. So once we've left all those specific gifts, what you have left is what we call the residue. Now, just to be really clear about that, the residue is literally what is left over. So if you've left a gift of £5,000 from your estate, the residue will be everything apart from that £5,000.
Mm-hmm.
So then we decide what you want to do with that residue. So it can be a percentage split between different people, different charities. It can be pretty much whatever you want it to be. So the more straightforward and simple, obviously, the easier it is to make sure your wishes are carried out, but it can literally be anything you want.
I bet you've seen some interesting ones over the years, Emma.
Oh, definitely. I want this sister to have 2% more than another sister because I gave this sister something during my lifetime, or whatever it may be. There's lots of different reasons you might want different things, but most people would be equally between my children, or equally between my nieces and nephews, or so. More often than not, they're pretty straightforward, but occasionally, obviously, there is the unique one that comes across.
And occasionally you might want to leave it to your partner.
This is very true. I miss them out. So obviously quite often it's everything to my husband or wife or partner, and then once the second person has died, equally between children.
Okay, and is there anything else that you cover on? It seems to be a lot of things we've covered on this meeting. What else do you cover?
So something else that we would be looking to put into your will is about your funeral wishes. So whether you want to be buried or cremated. What we would usually then do alongside your will is what we call an expression of wishes. So that can be in a bit more detail about what you'd actually like to happen at your funeral. So whether you'd like a particular hymn or a particular song, whether you want to have flowers or you don't want to have flowers, whether you'd like a religious service or not. So the letter of or expression of wishes alongside your will is where we'd tend to put all the details, but within your will we'd put just literally whether you want to be buried, cremated, or possibly something else.
No, definitely. And okay, I think that covers everything that's actually going to be at the will. So, and then what happens after that?
So once we get to the end of the will, we ask you to sign the instruction form to say that obviously everything you've told us is what you'd like to be included within your will. And you then have the option to have a 14-day cooling off period. So what that means is you've got 14 days to think about everything we've discussed. So if you want to wait the 14 days, what that means is we don't physically start preparing your will until those 14 days have passed. But if you choose to, if you just want us to get on with it because you're definitely 100% certain that everything is accurate that you've told us and you don't want to make any changes, we can start the will straight away. So you do have that option.
Yeah, no, that's really good.
So after the 14-day cooling off period, or whether you've waived it, we will then start putting the draft together. So we have an experienced team in the office that will put together the draft for us, and once that comes out to you, it will come with a letter alongside it. So within your will there will still be certain Latin words that we use, and we make sure that the letter alongside that explains in plain English exactly what all the different paragraphs in your will mean, so that you know exactly what it says basically. So that then comes out to you either by email or post, whatever your preference is, for you to have a check through. So hopefully you'll check through and go, yep, that's all correct, absolutely fine. That's obviously the ideal. We like to get them right first time, but there might be something where you decide, actually, I'd like to change this bit, or this bit isn't actually quite how I'd like it to be, in which case you can come back to us and we'd make any changes that you need. But alternatively, if everything's okay, you can just give us a call or send us an email to say, yeah, I've seen the draft, I've checked it, everything's okay, I'm happy to proceed.
Excellent. So if everyone's happy, what's the next stage?
So what then happens is we send you an engrossed copy of the will. So we also sometimes call this in the office the posh copy, just because it differentiates between the two. So this is the one that actually needs to be signed and needs to be witnessed, and is your actual will that will be kept. So obviously I've just mentioned there you need it to be witnessed. You need it to be witnessed by 2 people, and those 2 people can't be a beneficiary from your will, because if they sign it as a witness, that means anything you might have left them in your will, they won't be able to receive. You also need to make sure that it's not anybody related to anybody within your will either, just to make sure that there's no conflict of interest or anything later down the line.
And what is there any other criteria? They've got to be over a certain age as well to be a witness?
So they need to be over the age of 18, and obviously they just need to be able to sign it and date it and watch you witness or watch you sign it to say that they've obviously been able to witness it for you.
And of sound mental health?
Yes, that would be very handy. So the witness needs to be over the age of 18 and have the mental capacity to obviously be able to witness for you. They just need to be able to sign and date it, watch you be able to do it, or watch you sign it yourself, so that they can be the witness for you.
That's fantastic, Emma. So I've now got my signed posh copy of my will. Do I keep it myself? Should it be put somewhere safe? What are my options?
So you can keep it yourself, put it somewhere safe, or you have clients that keep them in a fireproof box somewhere in their house just to be extra safe. But we also have the option for storage, so we can put them into a storage facility for you at a reasonable annual cost that can be arranged for you. So if that's something you'd like to obviously look into, we can discuss that with you at our meeting.
That sounds fantastic. So Emma, I now know what the process is for making a will, and if I want to get in touch with you to organise that, what's the next step for me?
So you just need to give us a call or send us an email, and we'll put those at the end of this video so you've got them, so I don't need to keep telling you what they are. And you just get in contact with us, pick up the phone and speak to the team in the office. They'd love to be able to help and book you an appointment.
So Emma, we're making this video in support of our Charity of the Year, the Norfolk and Norwich University Hospital Charity. Can you let me know what are we going to be doing to support the charity, the Norfolk and Norwich University Hospital Charity, for anyone who comes through to us from them?
So any clients that are referred to us from the Norfolk and Norwich University Hospitals Charity, will be donating 25% from all of the wills that we write back to the charity. So it'd be really nice to support them as well through this.
Okay, well hopefully we've answered any of your burning questions about making a will and the process that's involved, and we hope to hear from you soon. Have a great day everybody. Thank you.
Thank you.